Good evening. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of Thursday, May 8th, 2025. I'm Julie Daigle, Ward 4 City Councilor and City Council President. Tonight, all councilors are present. Public participation to this meeting is provided in person and remotely via Zoom in accordance with Mass General Law. The Zoom link can be found on the city website. This meeting is also being televised and recorded by Peabody TV and the City Council stenographer. I'm going to ask Mayor Betancourt up to dedicate this moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Mayor Betancourt.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you to you, and thank you to Councilor Turco. And I appreciate everybody on the council giving me this opportunity. I wanted to dedicate this moment of silence to a longtime Peabody resident, I think a member of the community that everybody knew well, Rick Shruhan. Rick was a true family man, first and foremost, but also an honored veteran who served well over 2 decades in the United States Army, retiring at the rank of Chief Warrant Officer 2. He earned a Meritorious Service Medal, one of our wonderful city veterans, but also he was a member of our, for the last 18 years, the Peabody Library Board of Trustees. I was a very active and involved member with the library board, and a number of times oversaw hiring, including a number of directors. And he was somebody that was always reliable, always showed his care and compassion for the community. And I ask all of you to keep him and his family in your thoughts during this moment of silence. So thank you.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? All in favor? No, none opposed? It's a vote. If there's no objection, I am going to propose taking item 7A out of order.
Move to take 7A under suspension of the rules. So moved.
Thank you, Councilor Gamache. Mayor Betancourt.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening to you. Good evening, councilors. Thank you for taking this item at this time. I'm very happy, very excited to bring forward 2 appointments for your review in 2 critical positions for the city of Peabody. And I'd first like to start with the Assistant Director of Community Development and Planning. Person I'm bringing forward is a person well known to you, well known to our city, Stacy Burnson. Stacy has been working for the city for near 30 years, except for a very brief stop in Salem, which we were able to get her back from Salem. She's been a dedicated worker for the city of Peabody for a number of years. Her experience is vast, and she's been involved in a number of city projects, key initiatives, and somebody who's done a great job for the city of Peabody. And I'm very happy to bring her forward for this position. I did want to speak because there may have been some confusion over some titles, and I just wanted to kind of give a quick little background on the titles in the Community Development Office. Stacy is the currently, in the last several years, has been working as the Assistant Director of Community Development. Brendan Callahan was the Assistant Director of Planning. We decided upon Brendan's retirement, or Brendan moving to the city of Marblehead, that we would consolidate those 2 positions in an effort to save some money. So the position today is the Assistant Director of Community Development and Planning. So those 2 positions have been merged into one, and we feel Stacy, with her background, her experience, her education, and her understanding and awareness and knowledge of the city and our programs and our initiatives, is a great fit for this position. You know, she has the full backing and support of Kurt Bellavance. We did have some excellent candidates that we interviewed, but Stacy was the right selection and right choice for us. And I know Mr. Bellavance would be happy to say a few words as well, Madam President, but we have Stacy here and very happy to bring forward her appointment to this position.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Bellavance, would you like to speak, or is that optional? It's up to you. All right. If there are any questions, we'll call you up here. Stacy, would you like to speak, or we'll wait for questions? Are there any counselors that would like to speak? I would, for one. I've worked with Stacy for 10 years in community development, and I know she knows every aspect and board and commission of that office. She knows the community development part, the planning part, so I think she's an asset. She knows the HR part. That's a large department, probably the biggest one in City Hall, so I think this is a great move on behalf of the mayor and Mr. Bellavance, so I am happy to support this. Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm also very happy to support this. I've worked on a number of things with Ms. Burnson over the years, and she's going to have a lot on her plate in this combined position, so good luck with the added workload, but I'm very comfortable supporting this. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilor McGinn. Any other councilors? Do we want to make a motion or wait for the next, Councilor Gamache?
Yeah, why don't we take them separately? There's no objection. I'd move approval for Stacy Burnson to the position of Assistant Director of Community Development and Planning, term to expire 12/31/2025, with a one-year term. So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? I'm going to take a roll call vote.
Councilors Turco,
Yes.
Peach,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Gamache,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Manning Martin,
Yes.
Welton,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rosignol,
Yes.
Melville,
Yes.
Daigle.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Congratulations, Mrs. Burnson. Very well deserved. Your Honor, the Mayor, please.
Thank you again, Madam President. Very happy to bring forward a new candidate for the Director of Human Resources, somebody who I think would be an outstanding addition to the team here at City Hall. Dagmar Whitaker is here today. We came across her through a pretty extensive interview process, and before I speak about Dagmar, I wanted to thank and recognize a number of individuals who helped during the interview process. We had a great group of candidates that came before us. I had a number of interviews and was very pleased with the overall field of candidates that we had for the position. And I wanted to thank Beth O'Donnell, our former Human Resources Director, and her team. I wanted to mention Kurt Bellavance, Mike Gingras, Sharon Cameron, and Don Kahn for their assistance in the interview process. And I really am happy to bring forward Dagmar, who again I think is an outstanding candidate. Although she doesn't have municipal experience specifically to her city or town, her education and work experience is very impressive. She has experience in the private sector and in a number of higher education institutions, Northeastern and most recently Harvard, working as the Director of Human Resources at Harvard University. She's very familiar with a number of the issues that hit us on a day-to-day basis throughout our city in a number of varieties. She's been fulfilling those roles and fulfilling those responsibilities every step of the way over her career, and I think she's going to be able to come forward and help us on a number of the initiatives and programs and work we have to do within our city. We have union negotiations, we have budget work, a number of hiring and things, and I think Dagmar is going to fit in great with our team here and with the HR department and really move things forward. And very happy to bring Dagmar forward for approval. She's here today. I think she'd be happy to say a few words or answer any questions, but very proud to bring her forward.
Thank you, Mayor. And since we individually might have met Ms. Whitaker, the public and people at home have not, so I am going to put you on the spot and see if you want to say a few words and introduce yourself.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. It's a true pleasure. It's an honor to be here, and I'm really grateful to the mayor and the team for selecting me for the role. He wanted me to share a bit of my background with all of you, and I'll be very brief, as I'm not very used to talk about myself for too long, so I'll just give you some highlights. I've lived and worked in 2 different continents. I have experience in HR in the US and Europe. When I got my degree in international relations, I thought that it would be the path I would take. And I worked for a number of politicians due to my internships, but I decided not to do that. I decided to be more on the diplomacy side, and I loved it. I have worked for small and complex organizations, having worked with students, faculty, staff, and union employees, and I've enjoyed every step of the way. And every time people ask me, why are you in HR? I've always contributed to positive workplace cultures, as I think of HR as something bigger than just policies and procedures. To me, it's really about culture shaping and bringing the best of the people. And that's what I do. That's what I hope to bring in here in the city of Peabody. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Whitaker. Any questions or comments from councilors? Seeing none. Counselor Gould.
Thank you, Madam President. Dagmar, congratulations. Your resume is impressive, and we wish you well. Thank you.
Can I entertain a motion? Counselor Gamache.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. At this time, I move approval on the suggestion from the mayor for Dagmar Whitaker as Director of Human Services, term to expire 12/31/2027. It's a 3-year term. So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councilors Turco,
Yes.
Peach. Yes. Gould,
Yes.
Gamache.
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
Manning Martin,
Yes.
Welton.
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol,
Yes.
Melville.
Yes.
Daigle.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Congratulations and welcome to Peabody.
Thank you, Council. I appreciate the support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Moving on to number 4, hearings. Zoning amendment, sections 3.1, by creating the general business 2 GB2 zoning district. Section 4.2, schedule of use regulations. Section 7.2, schedule of dimensional controls in zoning map amendment regarding designating Assessor's Map 101, Parcel 10, and numbered 143 Linfield Street from general business to general business 2. This item has been continued from April 24th, and we do have some late communications. I am going to defer to Councilor Welton.
Thank you, Madam President. So first off, I'd like to make a motion to receive item late 2. So moved.
Receive and approve. You heard the motion. All in favor, any opposed? It's a vote. Councilor Welton.
Thank you, Madam President. So item late 2 is a request to continue this matter until June 12th. On that request, I do want to mention a few different things. This has been in ICD, and it remains in ICD, so it actually, I believe, should be resolved, or discussed rather, in ICD before it comes back to us. And I would also like to state that this has been continued a number of times. I'm happy to provide a continuance until June as requested, but I would say that I think this is the last time we continue this. If they can't figure this out by June 12th, it should be withdrawn and come back before us when there's something to look at. I know that a number of the neighbors I can see that are here tonight have been very patient with trying to have this resolved, and I just don't think it's fair to keep bringing people back. So I would be in favor for the continuance this evening, but would hope that something that comes in before first ICD on June 12th and then back to us after it goes through the committee would be appropriate, but if we're unable to do so, I wouldn't be willing to entertain a continuance at that time. So I guess in the way of a motion, the motion would be to approve the request for a continuance until June 12th on this matter. So move.
You're receiving and approving late 2 with the preference to not hear this past June 12th.
I don't know that we have to put that condition on it. I think that the motion would be to allow for continuance until June 12th. I would just publicly state that if this comes back and it's a request to continue on June 12th, that my intention would be to recommend a withdrawal or to not vote to accept the continuance at that time. I just don't think it's fair to keep bringing the neighbors back on this. So again, the motion would be to accept the request for continuance until June 12th. So separately, I'd like to make a motion to receive late 1. I'll do that after, so we could do this and then go forward.
You heard that motion. We're clear on that. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. Councilor Welton.
Thank you, Madam President. I would also like to receive item late 1 and refer to this matter. So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote.
Thank you, Madam President. And finally, on this matter, I would like to make a motion to receive item 8D and refer to this matter as well. And as a point of order, that was the opinion from Don Kahn, City Solicitor, regarding the proposed GB 2 district. So moved.
Thank you. You heard the motion to receive item 8D. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, any opposed, it's a vote. Councilor Welton.
Thank you, Madam President. I believe that wraps up item 4A and all associated communications.
Thank you, Councilor Welton. Moving on to reports of committee. Finance Committee, Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. The Finance Committee met earlier this evening. Councilors Gamache, Gould, Manning, Martin, Turco, and myself were present for the committee, and all other councilors also attended. There were 4 items on the agenda. The first item was transfer of fund, senior affordable housing, in an amount of $958,000. This was brought to us by Mr. Gingras. This was a recommendation from the Community Preservation Committee in support of a affordable housing initiative for a project that is going to take place on Endicott Street. This is a significantly downsized development from what was originally approved at that location under 40B. This is going to be 46 units of senior housing, 1-bedroom senior rental units, and this $958,000 leverages a $30 million construction project. With that as explanation from Mr. Gingras, there was a motion made by Councilor Gould as follows: move to approve transfer request, account number 270-0000333023, CPC Affordable Housing, an amount of $958,000 to account number 270-181158564-2025-349, Senior Affordable Housing, an amount of $958,000. Madam President, that motion passed the Finance Committee unanimously, and I now bring that motion for consideration of the full council. So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilors Turco,
Yes.
Peach,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Gamache.
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
Manning Martin,
Yes.
Welton,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol,
Yes.
Melville.
Yes.
Daigle.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Thank you. Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. Next item on the agenda is transfer of funds, CPC Ross Park Playground upgrades, in an amount of $250,000. This was presented to the committee by Mr. Gingras and His Honor the Mayor. This is, again, another Community Preservation Committee request for an appropriation for a new play structure at Ross Park. This is going to improve safety and accessibility for that. This is for that park, which is currently been totally cleared of all the equipment that was there previously. The timeline on this is for it to be in place somewhere around the 4th of July or shortly thereafter, according to the mayor. With that as explanation, Councilor Gould made the following motion: move to approve transfer request, account number 270-000033-021, Community Preservation Act, Open Space, an amount of $250,000 to account number 270-01811-58562-2025-380, Community Preservation Act, Ross Park Playground upgrades, in an amount of $250,000. That motion passed the Finance Committee unanimously. I now bring it for consideration of the full council. So moved.
Thank you, Councilor McGinn. You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilors Turco. Yes. Peach.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Gamache.
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
Manning Martin,
Yes.
Welton,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Melville.
Yes.
Daigle.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Thank you. Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. Next item on the agenda of transfer of funds, CPC Open Space, an amount of $200,000 was brought to us by Mr. Gingras. Again, another Community Preservation Committee request. This is essentially a housekeeping measure to make sure the funds are in the proper account to pay for the open space project, which was the last item, the Ross Park item. With that as an explanation, Councilor Gould made the following motion: move to approve transfer request account number 270-0000330011, Community Preservation Act unreserved fund balance amount of $200,000 to account number 270-0000330021, Community Preservation Act open space, an amount of $200,000. That motion passed the Finance Committee unanimously. I now bring it for consideration of the full council. So moved.
Thank you, Councilor McGinn. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilors Turco,
Yes.
Peach.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Gamache.
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
Manning Martin.
Yes.
Welton.
Yes.
McGinn.
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Melville.
Yes.
Daigle.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. Last item on the agenda was Rideshare Transportation Enhancement Trust, an amount of $75,848.53. This was brought to us by Mr. Gingras, and Mr. Bellavance was also available to answer any questions that the council or the committee might have. This is a funding source that comes from the Commonwealth Transportation Infrastructure Trust, which is a surcharge 20 cents per ride from ride-sharing services such as Uber and Lyft. So this request was to appropriate that money, as we have done in prior years, in this case to the Peabody multi-use path projects. With that as explanation, Councilor Gould made a motion to approve the appropriation request to Rideshare Transportation Enhancement Trust, account number 250-0000333835, an amount of $75,848.53, and to request that the City Council reauthorize the remaining balances and appropriate up to the full amount of $75,848.53 for the Peabody multi-use path projects. That motion passed the Finance Committee unanimously. I now bring it for consideration of the full council. So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilors Turco,
Yes.
Peach.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Gamache.
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
Manning Martin.
Yes.
Welton.
Yes.
McGinn.
Yes.
Rozignol.
Yes.
Melville.
Yes.
Daigle.
Yes.
Motion carries 11-0.
Thank you. Councilor McGinn, any other matters?
Thank you, Madam President. That completes the report of committee.
Thank you, Councilor McGinn. We're moving on to motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Turco.
No suspension of the rules. One motion, Madam President. Motion to request an opinion from attorney. It's a co-motion with Council Welton for an opinion from Attorney Khan as to whether the 143 Linfield Street zone change would require a majority or a supermajority vote.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. Councilor Turco.
No further motions.
Thank you, Councilor Turco. Councilor Peach.
Thank you, Madam President. No motions this evening. I just want to make the announcement that the 4th of July is 8 weeks away. And I had a slight panic attack that it's May and we're heading into mid-May. So if there are, just so the residents of Ward 3 know, we will be having our traditional celebration at Connolly Park on the 4th of July. And if there's anyone willing to volunteer to plan and help out on that day, I would very much appreciate it, as I will be holding a 6, 8, 9, I don't know how old my son will be. He'll be 8 weeks older than he is now. A 2-month-old to get through the celebration. So if anyone would like to volunteer, if any of my at-large colleagues would like to volunteer in Ward 3, we will always take extra hands. But with that, no further motions or resolutions. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Peach. Counselor Gould.
No motions, Madam President.
Thank you, Counselor Gamache.
Yes, I just want to let Council Peach know that my daughter was 6 days old when we had her at the 4th of July. So, yeah, hey, dads do a lot of work. But anyways, under suspension of the rules, I'd like to go to item 8B. And this is a communication from Tom St. Pierre, the building commissioner's transfer of special permit 26/2018, Advanced Cultivators LLC, 25 Newbury Street. And in that, the mayor has said that he is okay with this under the host community agreement. And it is in the submittal letter that we have under 8B. So I'd move approval on transfer of that permit. So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. Counselor Gamache.
Yes, thank you. I'd also like to receive a communication that was sent to myself and the councilors at large concerning Benevento Circle. There are some issues with the pavement at the beginning of the street. I have met with the mayor, and he's going to see what he can do, but I just want to accept this letter into the record. So moved.
Thank you, Counselor Gamache. We're going to call that late 4 to receive.
To receive. So moved.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. Counselor Gamache.
Yes, I'd also like to, under suspension of the rules, number 9, presentation of petitions, memorials, and remonstratives. 9A, junk dealers license renewal for 2025, GameStop 300 Andover Street and Golden Link 515 Lowell Street. Number 10, move approval, all papers being in order.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. Counselor Gamache.
Yeah, I would also like to go to item 8C, and that's a communication under suspension of rules. 8C, proposed compensation increases for poll workers. And there is a list of current rates, and this would have to be advertised, correct? So I would move to receive and advertise.
Counselor McGinn.
Yeah, well, is it time sensitive? I wanted to check with the clerk on that. I think it should go to finance. It's a salary ordinance. So.
Yeah, I will restate my motion to receive this and place in Finance Committee. So moved.
You heard the motion to receive and put in finance. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. Counselor Gamache.
No further motions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Counselor Higgins.
Thank you, Madam President. I do not have any motions, orders, or resolutions tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Higgins. Counselor Manning Martin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Under suspension of the rules, motion to receive item 8A, response from Attorney Khan with the skating rink lease, and refer to the Ad hoc Committee on Municipal Golf Course and Skating Rink. So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. Counselor Manning Martin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Under suspension of the rules, motion to receive item late 3, as it is a communication. Well, I'll receive it and speak on it. Motion to receive late 3 communication from Sharon Cameron, the Director of Public Health. So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. Counselor Manning Martin.
Thank you. And on that communication, just to share with the public, it is a communication from Sharon Cameron, Director of Public Health. As many recall, we spoke of the subject of the migrants in the hotels with many of our department heads and asked them at that municipal safety meeting, should they receive any further information either from the state or anywhere, to share it with the council. And I thank her for promptly doing so, as she received a communication, I will point out, not from the state, but from Centerboard, who is the private contractor that is managing the Holiday Inn. And I will read it into the record again so that folks at home can be apprised of what is happening. in that matter. Hello, Counselor. We have been informed by Center Board today that the state has notified them that the use of hotels as emergency shelters across the state will end on June 30th, 2025. Center Board currently has 71 families in residence at the Holiday Inn, 106 adults, and 131 children. They are working on placing all families into permanent housing. Any families not placed by the hotel closure date will be transferred to scattered site shelters. Families will continue to receive up to 2 years of stabilization services from Center Board or similar agencies, depending on where the permanent housing is upon their exit from shelter. As a city, we have not received any direct notification from EOHLC about this closure, and that is the Executive Office of Housing and Living Committee, something like that, from the state. So I just want to share that with the council and with the public. And again, this did not come from the state, but rather the private vendor directly to our public health department, who shared it with us, and she received that yesterday. So thank you. I have nothing further. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Manning Martin, and to Sharon Cameron. Councilor Welton.
Thank you, Madam President. Oh, excuse me, Councilor McGinn.
Councilor McGinn.
Just a question through you to Councilor Manning Martin. I think the way this was left in committee, we were expecting a longer time frame, I think, based on the last meeting. And you had indicated that in your report that all that work that was done, which was a great meeting, was a report of progress, and I think your intent was to take it up again. But given this, I don't know if this changes anything. Or,
thank you for that. And
all that's leading to is a question: do you want to refer this to committee, or do you want to take that?
I think I will
committee?
refer it into committee. Thank you for that. You're correct, and thank you for reminding me. The original date was December 31st, 2025, and now the state has bumped it up significantly to June. Was it June 30th of 2025? So, yes, thank you for that reminder. Instead, Madam Chair, may I refer this back into, strike the last motion and rather refer it to municipal safety, because it is ongoing. Thank you. Thank you, Council McGinn.
Thank you. You all heard the amended motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. Councilor Manning Martin, you're all set?
All set, and thanks again, Council McGinn.
Thank you. Councilor Welton.
Thank you, Madam President. No motions this evening.
Thank you, Councilor Welton. Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. On the suspension of the rules, move to receive item 7B and refer to finance. So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. On the suspension of the rules, move to receive item 7C and refer to finance. So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. No further motions.
Thank you, Councilor McGinn. Councilor Rossignol.
Thank you, Madam President. Under suspension of the rules, motion to receive and approve all papers being in order. 9A, junk dealer license, GameStop, 300 Andover Street in Golden Lake. So moved.
Thank you. We did approve that already.
So then no motions. Thank you.
We appreciate you trying to cover everything. Thank you. Councilor Melville.
No motions this evening. Thank you.
Councilor Gamache.
Yeah, did anybody accept this late communication from the council president on the Peabody Fire Relief Association? Move under suspension rules to receive it as informational.
As informational, yes, we move to receive. Everyone received that communication from the fire department event? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, any opposed? It's a vote. Thank you, Councilor Gamache.
Motion to adjourn.
Hold on, I didn't get my turn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I'm being fresh. I'm going to wait for my 4th of July announcement because I think we all might forget the details between now and then. But I'll let any councilors at large go to Councilor Peach. I do think she needs the volunteers more than we do, so thank you. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Counselor Gamache.
So moved.
Thank you.